Right, so good morning everyone. I'm going to give a short update on what we've been doing with the NLNOG ring mostly. So, to start off with some statistics, we've had a fair increase of ring nodes this year, net plus 88, given that a number of nodes left as well. I think we have well over 100 new nodes this year, which is, as you can see in the graph, more than we see an increase in the last couple of years. That's because new networks have joined, and also because a number of mostly large providers have added a lot of new nodes. Some even, well, in tens of nodes, so that's very nice to see. Got a new country. I failed to look up which one, but we're on 60 countries now. I'll show a graph of or a map where we are present now in one of our next slides. So you can see well, which spots we're still missing, and if you know someone who has presence there, please encourage them to join. Our looking glass has also grown. A number of new pairs. We hit the 200 million routes now on IPv4 and over 60 million on IPv6. So that's, well, it's a large route server by now. Well, here you have the graph of well, where we're present. Our home base, the Netherlands, is still the biggest country in the number of nodes we have, followed by the US and then Germany. You see that especially Africa is still a blind spot, and well, Middle East or Central East is still also, well, we could use a number of nodes there. So if you know someone, please encourage them to join. We did a few things new on the looking glass. One of them is the RFC 9234 support. What we do there, what the RFC defines how the relationship between two peers is, if they're like a provider and a customer, or if it's an IXP route server or anything, and that can help you to filter on what route you would expect from another network, and that can stop route leaks. So what we have done on the looking glass is that we can now show if a peer advertises those roles, because it's a new role, and also we can show the attributes, the OTC, the only to customer attribute. Unfortunately, not all router OS is supported yet. It's mostly supported in the open source routing software. Commercial vendors are hopefully working on it now, because we hope to see more implementations of this. We also have implemented the draft that Martin Pels wrote on how to formally define BGP communities. This draft explains how you can describe the meaning of your community definitions, and that can help a parser like the looking glass on how to interpret things. So you can tell us, well, a certain community means that you prepend X times to a certain other peer, or something like that. Martin wrote some sample code for that, and we implemented that on the looking glass, so you can now also use a URL where you host your YAML file and use that to define your BGP communities. So I would encourage you to look up that RFC and to see if you can implement it. And it looks a bit like this. So on the left you see the definition, basically prepend to X times to a specific peers on a specific continent. And in the black box you see a list of communities which we test. And you can see that the parser that takes the definition on the left and parses the community list on the file. And well, then you see that 65001.2001 gets prepended one time to the North Americas, and 2003 gets prepended 3 times, and stuff like this. So this helps you to make a formal definition where you can explain how this is configured. RIPE NCC has written reference definitions for their ASs, so you can check those out if you want to see how they are written. One cool last thing to note is that recently a paper was published by Thomas Fiebig. He used the ring servers to do DNS measurements, and he measured a number of things. Co-location of DNS root servers, which in this case, co-location means that several root servers share the same network, same endpoint. So basically, if you think that multiple root servers are geographically and network-definitely diverse, they eventually end up in the same place. And diversity is important for root servers. They measured integrity. And while doing that, they ran into a few fascinating things. And one of them is they observed bit flips. Bit flips is something that we've talked a lot about the last couple of months on IRC channel. And later today, Frank will be presenting on his work on, well, discovering and pinpointing bit flips and getting them fixed. So that presentation is really worth checking out. It's at the end of the day, just before the quiz. Well, the paper by Thomas is linked on the slides, and of course, the slides will be available soon on the webpage. Well, that is what I had to tell you about the NLNOG ring. If you want to join the ring, if you have your own network, and you can offer a VM running Ubuntu 20.4, please contact us and we can see what we can do.